Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Culture Shocked, the show that's reminding you if you ever go to California, the first thing you need to do is leave. I am your host, Will, at Heroic Studios, and before we get started today, I just want to thank all of my new subscribers. You guys are awesome for joining, for showing me some love. I did a video a few nights ago on the whole Sunday Night SmackDown between Cardi B and Candace Owens. If you haven't watched it, check it out right here. And it's blowing up. I think I'm climbing to about 10,000 views as of now, as of recording this video. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for the comments, your thoughts. Thank you guys for sharing, for liking, and thank you guys once again for subscribing to the channel. So today we're sort of switching gears. We're actually going into a little bit more of, I don't even know what to say, a failed state, a dystopian. California, folks, it's not looking good over there. It is not. Between the rolling blackouts, their shitty governor, what else is going on? They just passed a pedophile bill. That's going crazy. Wildfires. I mean, California is not looking too good. And I'm from California, so I know what it's supposed to look like. Yeah. But before we get started today, folks, make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of new subscribers, and I really appreciate it. So if you're watching this for the first time, welcome. And I would really invite you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm doing a lot more of these videos. I'm loving you guys just liking them, and it's just been great. So if you haven't done that, please do it. The button's right there, and it's free. At least I think it's free. Pretty sure it's free. Also, guys, if you have not checked out my podcast, there's a podcast version of this on anywhere you listen to podcasts. I have it on Anchor, but you guys can go to Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever. It's called The Red Conservative Culture Shock. This Sunday, or starting Sundays, I'm doing a Sunday Talk exclusive where I bring on some of my friends to kind of get their ideas on cultures and politics and family life and stuff like that. So that's exclusive to the podcast. It's going to be doing every Sunday on the podcast. So go check it out. I just did one with my boy, Andy G. If you don't know Andy G, we had our short-lived Nerd Power Hour weekly show on YouTube. We might get back into that. I don't know. But go check it out. I don't want to keep you guys too long on that. But going forward, California, man, California, I don't even know what's going on over there. California is ranked 50th in quality of life. That means they have the worst quality of life. Now, I'm from California. I grew up in California. I was born and raised. When I reached 17, after I graduated high school, I decided to leave, went to college elsewhere. I'm still in that particular city and state. And I'm watching California with binoculars, just looking at the shit burn. Literally burn. It is literally on fire. And it's just ridiculous at how much shit and how far left California has gone. There was a particular pedophile bill that was passed a few weeks ago, and I haven't really touched on it because I really didn't know what it entailed until now. And I'm talking to my friend. You might remember her. Her name is Miss Ivy. That is her anonymous name. And we kind of talked about how rampant pedophilia is, not just on social media, but just from day to day now. Like it's in the open and no one's really talking about it. So we did a whole interview on that and the whole talk. You can catch that too on my podcast right there. Go look at it. It's really great stuff there. But California is kind of falling into a failed state. I think this morning I just got news that their governor, Gavin Newsom, is trying to impose an exit tax on people who are trying to leave, which is really unconstitutional and fascist. So where's Antifa on telling people that they can leave? Because that's a form of fascism right there. You mean you're going to impose an exit tax on people who want to leave California because your policies have just made it such a shitty state? Holy crap. I think last year I was watching the news and they were saying that California has a really bad homeless problem. And I didn't really think about it in the beginning because, like I said, I grew up in California. I saw homeless people. I mean, every city has their homeless people. And the way the media was portraying it was like, wow, is it really that bad? Last year, I went to a wedding for one of my friends, got married, and it is really that bad. There are tents lined up on the streets. There's literally people pooping. I'm from LA. I thought that was a San Francisco thing, but that is a thing that's happening all throughout California. I'm not exaggerating. If you haven't been to LA in a while, just go see for yourself. It's not a place that I would want to live. And at some point, I do want to move back to California because I'm a beach bum. I love the beach. I love going to theme parks, Disney World, Knott's, Six Flags, you name it. I've done it in California, but I'm not moving back right now. Not until they clean up with those garbage policies. As you know, they are also having rolling blackouts, and this is due to shitty policies that California is trying to implement regarding green energy, which, you know, is a noble cause. Don't get me wrong, if you can make it work, but California is one of the biggest states in the country, and you're trying to supply power to hundreds of millions of people, and it's not working. Why? Because if you're solely relying on solar energy and everyone's running their air conditioning because it's 120 degrees in California during the summertime, it's not going to work. So they've been experiencing rolling blackouts. I don't even have to mention the wildfires. Somebody did a gender reveal and started another wildfire in San Bernardino. So there's that. I mean, I remember wildfires when I was living there. I guess I didn't really pay much attention to it because it was like, wildfire, it's not gonna come here, whatever. But where I'm living, we got a whole cloud cover of smoke the other day, and we had a red sun all day. A red sun. Yeah. But anyways, a few weeks ago, they passed a pedophile bill, and you probably don't know what this bill entails. Because no one's heard of it. They actually passed this bill without many people knowing. There was no vote. There was no nothing. It was a whole House vote where, if I'm reading this correctly, the majority vote was 41 A's to 18 nays for this bill. The Assembly Chamber video, Monday, August 31st, 2020. Yeah, so 41 representatives voted for this bill. 18 of them said no. That should have been a unanimous no. Wow. All right, so let's get into this bill that California has passed, because it's a doozy. Senate Bill 145. State Senator Scott Weiner, of course he's a Democrat from San Francisco, and Assembly Member Susan Eggman, of course she's a Democrat from Stockton. With their Senate Bill 145, California Democrat Senator Weiner and Assembly Member Eggman, Dr. Eggman, I hope she's a doctor, that'd be cool. Anyways, back to it. State that they are trying to shield LGBT young people from having to automatically register as a sex offenders for a specific or specified sex crime. But the bill they have introduced does much more than that. Okay, there's a few things wrong with this. Why would LGBT young people have to automatically register as a sex offender on a specified sex crime? That's not, you're giving people special privileges. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, Martian, giraffe. It doesn't matter. If you commit a sex crime, you're supposed to register as a sex offender. What does the LGBTQ community title have to do with you not registering as a sex offender? That makes absolutely no sense. Why is this a thing? Somebody please tell me, why is this a thing? It doesn't make sense. Someone commented on my last video that Trump is trying to impede the rights of LGBTQ people. What rights? What rights do I have that you don't, and vice versa? It's not about certain rights. We all have rights as individuals. We are born with our God-given rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Constitution defends and protects everybody who's an American to those God-given rights. Government is designed to protect those rights. I had to think about that for a second, because lately the government has not been holding up its end of the bargain, sadly. But these people believe that government gives rights. That's not true. It goes rights before law. Your God-given rights of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, all men are created equal. That is your right. So why are these people trying to make new rights, get new rights just for them, just to single them out and just kind of leave everybody else to do their own thing? That's unconstitutional. That's not going to fly. But this bill states that shields young people from having to automatically register sex offender for specified sex crime. What are the sex crimes? Any sex crimes that are involved would have to make you register as a sex offender? Me, you, them. That's what it is. Let's continue. SB 145, Senate bill, that's what it is. Senate Bill 145 would allow a sex offender who lures a minor with the intent to commit a felony, i.e. sex act, the ability to escape registering as a sex offender as long as the offender is within 10 years of age of the minor. So what this is saying is that I can be 23 and date a 13-year-old. That's basically what this is saying. Wow. Wow. California, what the fuck are you doing there? I see why you guys are on fire. God is just trying to fucking get you, just to finish you off. I have friends and family in California, and if you guys are watching my video now, please leave. Leave California right now, especially before your dumbass governor, Gavin Newsom, imposed an exit tax. Get out of California now. There's no reason to be there anymore. Sell your houses, pack up your shit, and bounce, because it is not the place to be. Not a place to start a family, according to this bill. Shit. So now this thing kind of goes into like the issue, which there's a lot of issues with this bill. The issue here is that the author's press release states that the bill is intended to bring partiality in who has registered as a sex offender and who doesn't, stipulating that Senate Bill 145 does not apply to intercourse of any kind with minors who are 14 or younger. What? For those crimes, mandatory sex offender registration will continue to be case for all forms of intercourse, but the actual text of the bill goes much further than that. As written, Senate Bill 145 would add a section to the state's penal code, Section 290, Section 290-55, stipulating that as long as the offender is not more than 10 years old than the minor, they are automatically mandated to register as a sex offender. They are not automatically mandated to register as a sex offender. Wow. So that means a 20-year-old can date a 10-year-old, a 19-year-old can date a 19-year-old, a 18-year-old can date a 8-year-old. And that is not just dating. They are literally talking about sexual intercourse with children. Holy shit. LGBTQ people, if you're watching this video, pedophiles have hijacked your movement. I know a lot of LGBT people who watch these videos. They say they're not affiliated with pedophiles. That is great, but something needs to be done about this bill in California. It is ridiculous that this is actually was passed through, and it wasn't even voted on. It wasn't even voted on by you Californians, by you the people. It was secretly passed in a Senate vote. Guys, get out of California. Just leave. Let God just break that shit off the mainland and let it float away. Just let it float away, because this is not okay. This bill would authorize a person convicted of a certain offense involving minors to seek discretionary relief from the duty to register if the person is not more than 10 years older from the minor. This is, holy shit, this is insane. They're not even thinking about the children. They're thinking about giving certain rights and privileges to people of the LGBTQ community. Wow. Wow. So you're saying that me, if I'm not a part of that community, I don't get these kind of benefits. Wow. Wow. Oh man, California, I don't know what to say. I'm very disappointed that you guys would just go ahead and just do this. Like, this is insane. Okay, well, here we go again. There's a little bit more to this bill. So, heterosexual or homosexual sex is not specified, nor is any age limit or range specified. Okay, so they kept it to where anybody can do this and not be registered as a sex offender. Whoopee. Senate Bill 145 would open the door for adults to victimize minors by luring them with the intent to have sex and then shooting the predator from being automatically registered as a sex offender. That is the main issue with this entire bill. It says it right there in red. If you can't see it, you're listening to my podcast, switch over to the YouTube version. I want you to read it for yourself, because this is insane. This is absolutely just out of control. For example, under Senate Bill 145, a 25-year-old luring a 15-year-old, a 22-year-old luring a 12-year-old, or a 19-year-old luring a 9-year-old would be shielded under the proposed legislation. In plainer words, certain sexual predators will be able to live among us without being aware, and teens. Wow. Often, the most vulnerable victims of sexual predators will be even more vulnerable. You remember that back in the 90s when Oprah had that, I don't know, I think it was an interview with some lady who was like, yeah, you can see what sex offenders are in your neighborhood. And a lot of people went to their website, typed in their address, and then all these red dots popped up. Guess what? You're not going to see that anymore. Isn't that great? I think California is just a wonderful place. Whenever I see that damn commercial with, come to California because we're more adventurous, I'm like, no. Hard pass, folks. I'm sorry. Wow. Well, California can go suck a lemon because there is no way I'm moving back to California anytime soon with these laws in place. Worst quality of life, rolling blackouts, wildfires, and now you got pedophiles running around like it's no Mayana. What a time to not be in California. Folks, California, get the fuck out. Just go. Back your shit up and bounce. There's no trying to justify why you're staying in California right now. Not at all. Highest taxes. There's going to be an exit tax at some point because people are trying to get the fuck out. Just like New York. Bill de Blasio ran everybody out. The people are not going back to New York. New York is such a shithole right now, especially with the rioters and looters. I don't even know if California is at the level where rioters and looters are tearing up the city. But at some point, I mean, it's going to happen because every city that's on fire right now is Democrat run. And the whole state of California is blue. So just get out. And people who are leaving California, I can't stress this enough. When you leave California and you move to a new state, do not, and I repeat, do not vote on the bills that made California so shitty in whatever state you go to. We hate that. We hate that very much. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Please, if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, share this video out. I hope it gets as much attention as my Cardi B and Candace Owens video. That was a real fun little Sunday night surprise that I did not see coming. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Please share this video and check out my podcast, the podcast version of this video, as well as my Sunday talk. I'll be having another good friend of mine on, and he's going to be dropping some pretty good family wisdom and knowledge. So I hope you guys tune in for that. As always, I'm Will at Heroic Studios, and I will see you guys next time on Culture Shock. And for the last time, for the love of God, get out of California. Just please, just get out. See you guys.